Today, we're gonna try and make evolution give up completely. And that shouldn't be super hard considering this is what we have to start with. And like anything in life, good things happen when I touch it. Good thing I have a macro. I don't think this is how the game is supposed to be played, but I can use these on evolution points. And we all know that the more parts you tack onto things, the better. We'll start with about 1,000. Earth. That's my least favorite planet. That's where life naturally thrives. That's the opposite of what I want. Next, we're gonna buy the moon because who wouldn't want to own the moon? Apparently that helps life when I combine it with primordial soup. And now I have a fiery ball of doom surrounded by a moon. Life just wouldn't be the same without a little moon pulling the lava tides to one side or the other. Investing in the moon has certainly paid off though because we get 5 points per click. Next, we can buy nucleotides. They're the chemical compounds that build the foundation for DNA and RNA, and I can't imagine why we'd need any of that, so amino acids it is. Because these bad boys are the building blocks of life. Funnily enough, this looks not unlike most of the creatures I build. And this is as good as it gets for my evolution. It is all downhill from here. We'll give it a moment to enjoy its peaceful bliss, floating around with nothing to interfere with it or cover it in doom spikes. And if I do the thing, I'm up to about 150 of these things per second. Wait, where'd all our lava go? I don't want a functional planet. It is pretty barren though, so at least we don't have any life yet. And since our life is looking a little thin, we'll add some protein for those gains. Plasma membrane protects the interior of cells from the environment. Why would we want to do that? Yeah, we really want to protect our life from this cool nutritional water that the planet is covered in. I feel like I shouldn't have to baby my life along. If it can't thrive in all this water, it's not meant to make it. But I am going to exploit every last little bit of it to make myself rich in whatever these things are. So it turns out, if I click on these, I get more options. Which, coincidentally, unlocked volcanoes, and I really like volcanoes. Ironically, they were a major catalyst in making Earth habitable. I'm going to use mine to do just the opposite. Where's my volcanoes? I want to pick how many I have. Basically, I was picturing covering the entire surface and then adding about 60%. Oh, I get it. The more amino acids we buy, the more of these things we have floating around. Eventually, due to the shape, they'll all get tangled together and form some giant organism. Pretty sure that's how evolution works. And because we don't have any fun animals yet, we're just going to start unlocking everything we have over here. Look at that, results! Something happened. Life created DNA, otherwise known as the stuff you don't want to leave behind at a crime scene. Looks like I did something. The first signs of light bulb will pop up in the primordial soup. I always suspected that life grew out of tampons. You know, it does have spikes on it, so it's not unlike what I achieved in Spore. Where did we get a block of ice from? A shooting star. Your taps become 30% more powerful for 15 seconds. Yeah, no, I don't have any purple cubes. I'll just go ahead and do it the old-fashioned way. Anyways, what's next on my life-ruining list? Why would we give our idiots an ozone layer? They've done nothing of use so far. I'm not going to reward them for floating around in soup. Viruses we definitely want, but then again, they're going to need something to live in, which I assume is probably some of these things. And mitosis is how things essentially breed. And this bad boy is basically an upgraded cell, so we should get to see some new stuff as soon as I can afford to unlock it. Which looks something like this. Basically some kind of pink donut that floats around with the rest of these useless morons. I wonder how many of these I can buy before the game is going to give up. And since I'm making 20 of these per click anyways, let's give that a try. Because all these little creatures look far too happy, I need 600% more suffering immediately. Alright, I don't see how I could ever possibly regret a decision like this. Wow, those are expensive. Nothing that a few hours of my wasted time won't fix. 100,000 points should be enough. Because if I can't get some kind of life to evolve out of these green tampons, I'm letting you all down. And that puts me up to naturally 359 points per second. But Earth is still looking pretty good. So let's see if we can find some kind of way to ruin this. Like maybe tissue and then cytoplasm. Now we're getting somewhere. Pretty soon we can unlock muscles, and that's all we need for evolution to thrive. I'm picturing just giant muscles. That's it. No eyes, no mouths, just muscles. And I bet these guys are pretty excited about that. Also, we need more of these because my frame rate isn't dropping yet. Next up, muscles. Do we get to apply these to anything at some point? Because they're kind of just floating around being stupid. Which I know is pretty shocking for something that I created. Maybe we just need more of these things. Clearly I did because the game gave me some kind of bonuses for adding creatures. And that's the kind of positive reinforcement that fuels me. So I'm going to continue to buy a bunch of creatures I don't need. It's just making a bigger and bigger mess. And I'm not complaining about that, but I do need to see some kind of creature forming at some point. For the time being, I am going to ignore filter feeding because I don't want them to be able to eat. Asexual reproduction, however, which leads to the much more popular sexual reproduction. You're welcome, idiots. I do have such a cluster of stupidity here now that we're up to almost 800 points a second. And thanks to my achievements, I do have some purple cubes, so yes, I will boost for 30 seconds. tapping as fast as I can. I'm very good at tapping because I've had so much practice. So that left me with a cool 800,000 points, and I'm getting 73 per click. So I guess they could probably have a nervous system. And swimming, they've got to be able to move, at least in theory. Is it really going to make me give them an ozone layer? That didn't even do anything. Do stuff. Turn into a creature. Turn into a muscle. Anything at all, please. Maybe they do need to eat. There we go, our first creature, a sponge. The first multicellular organism emerges. Life created, also ruined. And more good news. I now have wispy clouds because life just couldn't thrive without it. And we might as well do this again because that's just easy money. And for the first time, I'm over 1 million points. Now we could upgrade to the jellyfish, but before we do that, let's see how many sponges we can add to the world, because I feel like they're a lot easier to care for than a jellyfish. We'll even give them some coral because they mostly suspiciously just hang out not doing much of anything, and that's the kind of creature I like to care for. I don't know if I love the way they seem to produce oxygen because that's conducive to life thriving, but we'll let them get away with it for now. And look at my money, 3,600 per second. Think of how many sponges we'll be able to buy with all this. Since the sponges aren't necessarily groundbreaking, we're gonna try the jellyfish. Life leaves the ocean floor and the journey begins. Wow, I've really accomplished something here today. I don't know what flatworms are, but that sounds like something we should fill the ocean with. But they are pretty expensive. This feels better. This is exactly the kind of creature that I love to fill my world with. Not only do they not have limbs, but they're horribly cross-eyed. I bet they swim into stuff a lot. And at 300,000 each, we're gonna have to buy a lot more. I feel kind of like this is all going too smoothly. We don't want a realistic educational approach to evolution. Because let's be honest, if you're here, you're not here for education.
It's too late for you.
But I'm kind of liking the amount of creatures we can potentially buy here. So what I'm gonna do is this. We're getting something like 15,000 points a second as long as my clicker is on, so I'll be back in a little while. Is 10 million points enough to spend on flatworms? It probably is, because they're so expensive we couldn't even buy that many. Still, 10 million points well spent. And for only 460,000 points we can buy the cocoon, which is good for the flatworms, which is also good for me because I just spent a lot of money on those things. They somehow will one day be the dominant force on my planet, but that's also not saying very much. Like winning free water at the ocean. I don't see why anything would ever need a spine, but we're gonna give it to him anyway. Oh wait, flatworm 30% more efficient. We're gonna have super flatworms. At an earthy level, things are looking just fine. At a cellular level, still fine. We're earning about 30,000 points per second now, so life should really start to explode. Not in the literal fun way, but we're gonna see a lot more life. Next on our list of upgrades I don't want, radial symmetry and like a furry tentacle tree, which unlocks something better for my favorite fish in the world. Flatworm 10% more efficient. I don't know what they're more efficient at, but we're getting more of them. That is raw efficiency, the peak of evolution so far. We'll give them a heart because they need something to break, nerve cords so they can feel pain, pigment spots because more efficiency, and fish. Are we ready for fish yet? What is this? Technology, mysterious rock. No, that's not technology, that's just a rock. We'll go ahead and go through the painful process to break it open. Hopefully it'll give us something amusing. Looks like we got a bunch of points. You have encountered a branching path of evolution. Mesozoic Valley. Dinosaurs. These look like the kind of creatures that can feel pain. I don't know how we jumped from flatworms to this, but I'm okay with it. Am I still supposed to do something back here, or is it all dinosaur time now? Buy more dinosaurs, generate more fossils. Oh, we have an entirely different currency here. And we got a mutagen. That would be okay if we could microwave evolution again, we get some fun results. We have so many of these things, we can now open a geode, which is going to give us more fossils for more dinosaurs. Are we at the part where we can throw a meteorite at these guys yet? Because I'm kind of looking forward to that part. Or I could just let this one lonely creature wander around for the rest of its existence, never running into another living creature. It can just wander around lonely and bored, suffering for its many years. I don't have time for that. We're going to add some of these. These are way more exciting than fish. We're not going to bother to upgrade any of these stupid dinosaurs. I want some of the cool ones. We'll upgrade those. And our first Stegosaurus, which has a very large breathing hole. Look at my world go. There's no stopping it now. I want to make some of the dinosaurs that would eat these kind of dinosaurs. After clicking for enough, I get one Darwinium, which doesn't really give me any use. Asteroid? Was this really how it went? There was 4 dinosaurs that evolved and then an asteroid hit? Are you ready to trigger the extinction event? Yes, no questions asked. This is my favorite part. This is all I wanted to do this entire time. Work so hard to evolve life, and then just end it. Those 58 creatures are no more. That's okay, we're gonna replace them with better ones. Or at least other ones. So now we start the process again. This is kind of fun though. I can just keep evolving life to end it. And I just realized for the first time that these upgrades mean you automatically take the points from these. So I should have been doing that a while ago. So the more of each dinosaur I get, the more geodes I get to open, which means more upgrades. And at this point, my Stegosaurus by itself is giving me about 8,000 points per cycle. And we have another upgrade, mutagens, and yep, whatever that means. That means we just gave whatever this is a whole bunch of meth. Actually, is that an option? I would feed my dinosaurs meth for 1,000,000 years to speed up evolution. And I need 32 Stegosauruses now. But I'm also going to buy one of these, which floats in the air. Bet you didn't know that about the Ankylosaurus. Well, it's starting to have a Jurassic Park vibe. What is this thing? Oh, okay. Oh, sure. Is this one wearing a jacket? Anyways, where was I? They get so expensive. I still need 2 of these and they cost 50,000 each. But obviously the reward is going to be worth it. Come on, T-Rex. Never mind. But 4 times speed. I don't even know how much money this is giving us. It's just going really fast. But let's see if we can give it a further boost by buying a whole bunch more of those. And now we need some of these guys. Auto clicker away. Still need another 8 of those. But thanks to all my Stegosauruses, they're giving me 23,000 per cycle. And because the Ankylosaurus is a superior dinosaur, it's giving us even more. Currently 64,000 per cycle. And our final one, we get some kind of upgrade. Now we're just slowly waiting till we have 1.5 million fossils collected. There we go, our biggest reward yet, our $1.5 million reward. So that's going to speed up this guy. So he's on meth now too. Not as much meth as this one, but he's still making some money. And also it's asteroid time. All that hard-earned progress and we get to obliterate it in an instant. 146 creatures or no more. We can do better. Here we go again, starting with the Archosaur. Wow, it starts on meth this time. This is going to be easy. We do need more of them, but because it's on meth, we're going to get results. So another quick 5 of these gets us our reward of automated Stegosaurus. We'll be so rich we'll be able to afford 1,000,000 dinosaurs now. Now I basically just sit back and wait. They're going to earn all the points they need to hit themselves with a meteorite. And now we get a fan favorite Triceratops. I can't wait to hit this one with the meteorite. It would be cool if I could add some custom designs to this, but we'll work with what we got for now, which still isn't a particularly full world. Ooh, geodes. Good things happen when you use an auto clicker. And I can automate Ankylosaurus. That's going to be so much money that it's going to be stupid. So obviously we're going to automate that. That way I sit back and wait for the money to roll in while also buying a whole bunch of them for profit. And I can only imagine what the Triceratops is worth per cycle. It's got to be worth something having that big old head. Our reward for finishing Stegosaurus, more meth for that dinosaur. Now I just need the final 2 plus a whole bunch of money, then we can kill them all again. I really like the way that evolution just incorporates genocide like this again and again. I've learned that it's good to click on golden things because obviously the final Ankylosaurus costs 500,000. You better make this worth it or I'm gonna hit you with a meteorite now. We're still upgrading this. We've gone overboard on the meth dinosaur. He's super methed out. Now for the most expensive moron of them all. But I'm also up to about 50,000 points a second, so I'm not gonna complain. I get to hit them with a meteorite anyway. And the Triceratops is currently worth 207,000 per cycle. Oh, I only actually have to buy 4 of those. I got so carried away with my meth dinosaurs I forgot how rich I was. This one just straight up turned into glowing because it got so methed out. And our final reward for hitting 5 million, an asteroid. So while it's been fun growing you guys from scratch once again, all things must come to an end, especially if I'm in control of them. Actually pretty impressed we survived this long. I started with nothing, created some kind of green tampons, and eventually those turned into dinosaurs, which I'm about to murder with an asteroid. So I really like the progress we've made. Oops, my finger slipped.